Good morning. Um, my life. So, I have an extensive career over the last 30 years of being in healthcare, even though I am just a paramedic. Um, but I'm so much more than a paramedic. And I love being a paramedic. And I was really good at my job. I was the best paramedic I knew. And hardly ever seen anybody as good as me. But I know I'm braggadocious, but to be a paramedic, man, you got to be confident. And if you're not confident, then you're an EMT. And when life comes at you, you got to swing hard and swing fast, you know, and 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 knock every fucking ball out of the park. But uh, So I I went yesterday, and I'm very open. I don't give a shit. I don't care. And if and if my experience helps anybody, that's great with me. I don't give a shit. But so I I had I had three heart attacks or MIs in my early 50s. I was working in Texas, and we had a big wreck, and all this shit happens at 3 o'clock in the morning, and so uh, we had we had three ambulances, me included, and you got two personnel on each truck. You got a paramedic and EMT. And so I'm the senior crew member, and my oldest crew. I'm the oldest. I don't know how old I was. Let's see. I'm 50. No, I don't know. I'm 57 now. Yeah, I was about 50. And so in EMS, you go who's up next, and I'm captain of the shift, and but it wasn't my call, but I I always paid attention to what my crews was doing and where they was going, and I never slept. My ear was always on the radio, and not only my frequency, but I scanned all frequencies. I had to know what the PD was doing, I had to know what fire was doing, and I had to know what was going on in the other counties, because everybody has mutual aid, and you never know. And I never liked my boss coming to me going, "Hey, where's your crew at?" and me not knowing. So anyhow, it was raining. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. A call comes out, uh, MVC, motor vehicle crash with multiple injuries, and it's raining. And I was like, "Ooh, that don't sound good." And so that's my lightning bolt. You get a lightning bolt for when you save a life. It's called ROSC, return to spontaneous circulation. It means when you're dead and your blood's not moving, and then it's moving again. And it's not a save unless you walk out of the hospital alive and talking. And so I have a gold one. This is silver. And but anyhow, um, Emmy, she's 24. She's a paramedic. She hasn't been a paramedic that long, maybe about a year and a half. And then I got Jose. He's the same. He's 25. And I got three young EMTs. And so Emmy gets up, gets en route, and I get my partner Jerry. Let's go. And so we're going down the road, and it's raining like hell. And my phone goes off, and and she's like, "Did you hear that call?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, she's like, "Are you responding?" I said, "Look in your side mirror," and I'm on her ass. And so this van had a van load of illegals from El Salvador, and it was plumb packed, like 25 folks. And they had slid off the road, went under a bridge embankment, or not a bridge, yeah, and sheared off the top, and we had four decapitated, dead on scene, and one partially decapitated. And I'm not sending any of my crews in there. So we had some walking wounded, so the only way to get entrance to the people that was hurt was through the back door. And so I had to crawl in over top dead people. And first one I came to was the partially decapitated, and I pulled him out. And as I was pulling him out, I started having a heart attack. And so I get him out, and I hand him out Jerry, girl, and Emmy. And they get him up in an ambulance, and so I'm crawling back over to the dead people, and I'm trying to get the live people out. And it was mass chaos. It was mass chaos. I had called other ambulances from another county to come up, but they couldn't get past the traffic. And I had like I had ambulances loaded down. And used firefighters, and I got everybody out. And I was the only one left. When you have a mass casualty like that, you send the worst out first. And the dead ones stay. And I remember Jerry yelling at me, and she said, and she pointed. And the guy had an obvious brain injury. She was showing me an obvious brain injury. And I said, Jerry, I said, don't worry about that. I said, get loaded and get out of here. So I got everybody sent off. Got to the hospital. And my boss showed up. And I was the only one there. And I had a firefighter that could drive me around, the only ambulance for the whole county. And he was like fired up. And he's like, why'd you cancel the other ambulance? I said, well, I got everybody out of here. And I said, look, you could see in Texas, everything's flat as shit. And you'll get an ambulance stuck up in the mud fast. And I said, they can't get through. You can see their lights. But as I was crawling back and forth, I was having a heart attack. And that was the end of my career. But anyhow, I don't even know where the story was going. But that was the end of my career. Y'all have a good day.